She makes $380,000 a year. She can't find $5,000. Meet Sarah. She's 42, a cardiologist in Chicago. Every morning she drives a leased BMW to a hospital where she saves lives. Her kids attend a private school that costs $28,000 per year each. Her mortgage is $4,200 a month on a house with a guest room. Nobody has slept in for 6 months. On Friday nights, she takes the family to dinner at a restaurant where the bill rarely comes in under $200. On paper, Sarah is wealthy. In reality, if her transmission blew out tomorrow, she'd have to call her bank. This isn't a story about a bad person making bad decisions. Sarah is brilliant. She completed 11 years of medical training. She understands biology at a molecular level. She can read an EKG in 8 seconds. She just can't figure out where her money goes. The number that should shock you. Here's what shocked me when I first read it. According to a 2025 Goldman Sachs report, 41% of Americans earning between $300,000 and $500,000 live paycheck to paycheck. Not 4%, not 14%, 41%. And it gets stranger. Among people earning over $500,000, $500,000 a year, 40% report the same thing. No financial cushion, no real safety net. Just a very expensive lifestyle that needs to be fed every single month, without interruption. Read that again slowly. 4 out of 10 people making more in a month than most Americans make in a year wake up with the same quiet financial dread as someone earning $38,000. The number on the paycheck is different. The feeling in the stomach is identical. How is that even possible? The trap has a name. Economists call it the high-income poverty trap. It works like this. You get a raise. You upgrade the car just slightly. You deserve it. You move to a better neighborhood. The schools are better. It's a smart investment. You start ordering from nicer restaurants because honestly, after a 6-0-hour week, you've earned a good meal. You put the kids in private school because you want them to have opportunities you didn't. Each decision, in isolation, is completely reasonable. But here's what nobody warns you about. Once a luxury becomes routine, removing it feels like punishment. The BMW doesn't feel like a luxury anymore. It feels like your car. Downgrading to a Honda doesn't feel like saving money. It feels like something went wrong. Private school doesn't feel like an upgrade. It feels like your child's normal. Pulling them out feels like failing them. The trap doesn't lock your ankles. It locks your identity. And every month, more and more of your income gets silently committed to maintaining a life that now requires all of it just to stay standing. The doctor versus the plumber. Here's a man you've probably never heard of. Call him Dave. Dave is 54. He's a plumber. He drives a 2014 Ford F-150 with 140,000 miles on it. He buys his jeans at Costco. He has never spent more than $80 on a dinner. Dave has $2.1 million in investments. Meanwhile, Sarah, the cardiologist, has a net worth of roughly $310,000, most of it locked in her house. Dave looks poor. Sarah looks rich. The reality is completely reversed. This is the central paradox that the authors of The Millionaire Next Door documented after studying thousands of actual wealthy Americans. The people who look wealthy usually aren't, and the people who are wealthy usually don't look it. 94% of millionaires live in middle-class or modest neighborhoods. 60% live in homes worth less than $500,000. The average millionaire has never spent more than $399 on a single piece of clothing. Warren Buffett, worth over $100 billion, still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. The wealth is real. It's just invisible. Because they never traded it for appearances. The math nobody does. There's a formula from The Millionaire Next Door that most high earners fail badly. Take your age, multiply it by your pre-tax annual income. Divide by 10. That's what your net worth should be. Sarah is 42. She earns $380,000. 42 times $380,000 divided by 10 equals $1,596,000. Her actual net worth? Around $310,000. She is sitting at roughly 19% of where she should be. This isn't a minor shortfall. It's the financial equivalent of a 4-2-year-old runner discovering they've been walking in the wrong direction for 15 years, convinced they were making great time. Why smart people fall for this? Here's the thing that makes this trap so insidious. It doesn't target foolish people. It targets successful ones. Because the trap runs on psychology, not arithmetic. Sarah knows about compound interest. She knows she should save more. She can calculate her retirement shortfall in her head. She's not confused about the math. But income does something subtle to the brain. It shifts your reference group. When you're earning $50,000, you compare yourself to people earning $50,000. When you earn $380,000, you start comparing yourself to people earning $380,000 or more. And the people you're comparing yourself to are doing all of this. The private school, the BMW, the dinner reservations, the vacation to Tuscany. It doesn't feel like excess. It feels like the baseline. A 2025 Goldman Sachs report explicitly named social comparison, keeping up with the Joneses as a primary driver of paycheck to paycheck living among high earners. The Joneses, by the way, are also broke. Where the money actually goes. Let me get specific, because vague talk about lifestyle inflation lets people off the hook too easily. The average high-earning American household spends $179 per month on food delivery alone. That's $2,148 a year, delivered to your door, hot. Streaming services, subscription boxes, premium apps, ride shares. Add them up, and you've quietly spent $400, $600 a month on things you'd struggle to list from memory. Then scale that psychology up. First-class flights instead of economy, 4-star hotels instead of 3, a vacation home that costs $3,200 a month to carry and sits empty for 9 months a year, a country club membership that felt essential to join and now feels impossible to cancel. Each upgrade made sense at the time. Together, they've built a financial architecture that requires Sarah's full income just to stay operational, with nothing left over to actually build anything. The number that ends the argument. Here's the cold math. 2 people both earn $300,000. Person A saves 30%, that's $90,000 per year, invested at 7% average returns over 20 years, roughly $4 million. Person B saves 5%, that's $15,000 per year, same returns, same timeline, roughly $650,000. Same income, same years, same market. A difference of $3.35 million. That's the price of the high-income poverty trap, not paid in one dramatic moment, paid quietly, dinner by dinner, lease by lease, upgrade by upgrade, over 2 decades. The exit. The trap can be broken, but it requires one uncomfortable question that most high earners spend enormous energy avoiding. What is all of this actually for? Not philosophically, practically. The guest room that nobody uses. The car that signals success to people stuck in traffic who will never think about you again. The private school that may or may not produce different outcomes than the public school 2 miles away. The restaurant meals that are more about exhaustion than enjoyment. These aren't judgments. They're trade-offs made visible. The people who escape the trap don't deprive themselves. They just become deliberate. They spend aggressively on what genuinely matters to them and cut ruthlessly on what doesn't. They automate savings before spending, treating wealth building as non-negotiable rather than aspirational. They stop optimizing for how their life looks and start optimizing for what their life can actually support permanently. The last thing, Sarah is real. Her situation is common. Her income is rare. That's the cruelest part of this. She worked 11 years longer than her peers to earn a salary that most people will never see. She delayed marriage, kids, vacations, sleep. She sacrificed her 20s to build a career that would give her financial security. And she got the career. She just never got the security. Because nobody told her that income and wealth are not the same thing. One fills your account every 2 weeks. The other is built slowly, deliberately, quietly from what you choose to keep.